So what is going on, guys? It is Oscar here, back again with another video for you today, and today we're talking about that all-important Uncharted 4, of course. Now, we're only 2 months away from the game's release, or pretty much 2 months away from the game's release, and of course we had the multiplayer beta back in December of 2015, and ever since then, the multiplayer news has actually been really small. We've had, like, literally no news about the multiplayer in the 2 months since the beta, and it kind of brought up a few questions in my mind, thinking, okay, so what are Naughty Dog going to tweak in order to make the multiplayer more balanced and overall what everyone in the Uncharted community wants, of course. Now, they got a lot of feedback from that beta saying that the sidekicks were a little bit overpowered, some of the mysticals were overpowered, some of the guns were overpowered. I remember the Metler being incredibly overpowered at one point, and they had to tweak that multiple times. So what Naughty Dog, I'm assuming, are doing are tweaking all those little bits to make the game more balanced and hopefully a better experience for everyone in the community. Now, unfortunately, in the beta we discovered that the voice actor for Flynn had changed. Now, Steve Valentine, of course, did voice Flynn back in Uncharted 2 and also in the Uncharted 3 multiplayer, and also he was in the co-op as well. So he's been in both Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3. However, in the Uncharted 4 beta, he was not there. He had gotten replaced by this quite poor voice actor. I mean, it wasn't poor, but it was like, it didn't sound right. He just sounded way too British, even though Flynn is British, but it just sounded like really kind of, I don't know, it didn't sound right at all, as you'd expect, because it's a change of voice actor. And so I kind of looked at his Twitter over the past few days, and twice in the past 2 days he has been talking about Uncharted 4 and how he's not been yet brought back to do any voiceover for Flynn. So one person asked him a question: "I'm still sad that you aren't Harry Flynn in U4. Good, I got the Uncharted collection." And he replies, "Yeah, they heard the fans," in quotes, though. So that's suggesting that, therefore, well, he did, actually, I think I was mentioned on a live stream during the beta's kind of period, and they said, like, "Oh yeah, we've heard the fans, we're thinking of getting him back," but there's obviously been no news. And then the next day, which is actually today, he pretty much replies to another question, which was, "Are you still not sure yet if you're going to be Harry Flynn in the Uncharted 4 multiplayer?" And he just replies, "Sadly not," with an exclamation mark. And that's really interesting. He's had no news about playing Flynn in the Uncharted 4 multiplayer, and they're literally about 2 months away from release, and even then it'll be slightly less than that, because of course they'll make the game go gold about 2 weeks or so before the game's release. So they're about a month and a half away before development is finished, maybe even earlier. And he's had nothing yet. Now, of course, remember, it's only going to be the multiplayer, so I'm assuming his lines will be very minimal, so I'm sure he could literally just come in for like a day and he'd be done. So, you know, let's not take this out of proportion. He probably could easily come in and fix this. However, you'd think, after the response that they got from that multiplayer beta, that they would actually already have him come in and do the lines, because people wanted his voice again. And I don't know why Naughty Dog haven't done it yet. It's a bit weird, really. Maybe it's too much money. I don't know. I doubt it. It's literally just multiplayer lines. I don't think they're paying that much. But yeah, Naughty Dog have still yet to do that, so that's an interesting one. Moving on to the second thing now. I mean, this is quite interesting, and it's more speculation than actual kind of fact, but the multiplayer beta, of course, that happened in December, was exclusive for the Nathan Drake collection owners. Now, people have been calling Naughty Dog out for saying, well, why are you only giving it to the people who bought the Nathan Drake collection? I owned all 3 of the games on PS3, and I'm basically being told I can't play the beta because I didn't buy the collection, which is completely fair. Of course, the only reason why they added the beta in for that was to make sales for the Nathan Drake collection better, and that obviously worked. So what people have been calling out Naughty Dog for doing is they're kind of sectioning off the people who bought the Nathan Drake collection and the people who are still Uncharted fans but didn't buy it because they didn't feel they should have to pay £40 or whatever else for basically the same games they had on PS3. So, will Naughty Dog do a second multiplayer beta for Uncharted 4? Big question. I mean, there's been no news about this. Again, as I said before, this is just speculation, but I would love to see it. I think they might do it. I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, you look at most multiplayer games on the PS4 nowadays, they always have a beta pretty much, you know, I don't know, a month, maybe a couple of weeks before the game's actual release. We just had the Division beta, Rainbow Six Siege had one, Battlefield 4 had one back when that launched, Call of Duty had one, although to be fair, that was back kind of a few months before the game launched, but even then. So, I mean, it's definitely possible that they would do it. However, Naughty Dog have never done a beta a few weeks before the game's release. They've done it only twice, in fact. They've only done it for, they might have done it for Uncharted 2, but I don't think they did. They only did it for Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4, and Uncharted 3, it was in June before the game released in November, sorry, and so that was a few months before, and they've done exactly the same with Uncharted 4, have a beta about, you know, 4 or 5 months before the game's release in April. So, it's unlikely that Naughty Dog would do it again, because given their past track records, they've never done a beta so close to the release of the game. However, given the response that they got from some of the community about, you know, different kind of elements of the Uncharted 4 multiplayer, they might do one. Now, I would love to see it because I think it would give people a great opportunity to play the game before it releases. It would also give Naughty Dog a huge stress test for the servers, which they definitely need given their servers. So I think it would definitely be positive for the Uncharted 4 community for sure. However, Naughty Dog are clearly very, very busy. They've had to delay the game twice. They probably wouldn't do it because I think, in honesty, they probably have a little bit too much work to be able to do and then push out a beta, which is essentially sectioning off a part of the game and putting that on the PSN and all that other stuff. It might be a little bit too difficult for them. However, it probably in the long run would actually help them. It's just dependent on whether they have the time and whether they want to do it in the first place. They might not want to do that at all, and they might just do, you know, in-house stress tests on the servers. We don't know at the moment. As I said, that's speculation. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. So this video has been quite an interesting one. It's literally just kind of like an update on the multiplayer and what's kind of going on there, whether Flynn's voice actor will come back, and also whether there'll be a second beta for Uncharted 4. But let me know if you think Steve Valentine should come back for the voice of Flynn. Probably you will do, but even then it's hopefully going to happen. And also, do you think Uncharted 4 will get a second multiplayer beta within the next month or so? So let me know that in the comments, of course. Yeah, like the video and subscribe if you're not already, of course, and thanks a lot for watching.